crafting journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. How are you? Hump day! Yay! So as I predicted, yesterday was, oh yeah, sort of like hell day. I finished work about 6:30 last night. Yeah, lots of stuff to do for that joint commission survey. But we got it done. We got all of our files together, our department, which is the medical staff office. We have all of our stuff together, all of our ducks in a row. Quack, quack. And so I'm going to work today. Gotta go to work. Work, work, work. Well, I have to be physically in the building. Oh my god, last night I was trying to diamond paint in here. First of all, I had to go get a fan because it was so hot. And then none of the wax in my pen was so gooey and sticky. All of the pens, no, the pink wax, whatever wax I was using, it was so sticky because of the heat that I could hardly diamond paint. I had to use the tweezers a bit. It was so frustrating. But as the room cooled down, because I sat here for a few hours, as the room cooled down, the pens started to work again, and then my frustration eased a bit. I think it helps to diamond paint, and it's frustrating when you can't diamond paint because of the temperature of the room, for God's sakes. I know. For God's sakes. Okay. Here is the section we are working on. Here. Let me show you the progress thus far. I know, I've got a bunch of stuff on the canvas here. All right. So yesterday I finished, drop all the little things here. I finished this section yesterday. So we're starting to see the mouse form. He's wearing a little bow tie. That's the pink that you're seeing. So things are coming together. So we're back into the sky for today. Yeah, we're getting this thing done. We are. Alrighty. What? Okay, I was gonna say what? And these are the last of these small rounds, and they kind of stick together, clump together sometimes, and so I have them in this little baggie, and I'm just kind of trying to separate them. But is this the number we're going to work on today? I like to work on the hearts. Let's work on the hearts, which is, I think, is 824. Yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, the hearts. Yeah, let's make sure they're all like, yeah, that's pretty good, All right, so before we do that, I wanted to show you, I finished the market bag, kind of, sort of. I haven't finished the handle of the market bag, or the part that's going to bring it together. But let me show you. The body of the market bag is done, and I realized yesterday I had not shown it to anybody. I have to keep it in these project bags. You can get these project bags in packs of, I think they come in packs of 10 or 12, I'm not sure. But on Amazon. If you need the link, let me know. I'll send it to you. So I was using this Summer Kiss 80% cotton, 20% polyester. It's a Lion brand fabric. Here's the end result. Remember I put the piece of plastic canvas in the bottom. So here's the bag. The bag is done. Yeah. And now I just have to get something that will kind of, put it together. This is a little market bag you can take if you're just picking up a couple of things at the market, and you don't want to bring home those plastic bags that are ruining the ocean. Yes. Okay. Instead, we're going to use our plastic as project bags. I'm just substituting one plastic for another, aren't I? I talked about how I'm going to do the closure on this with narrate last night. We came up with an idea, so she's sending me a little tool, and I'm going to make a little thing that goes through it. I know that's not very specific, is it? You'll see it when it's done. Sorry. All right, I want to get the journal out because, you know, we're trying to get into the habit of journaling, putting in what national day it is, talk about what else happened yesterday. We're just going to write here, Joint Commission survey. It used to be annual. They don't do it annually anymore. They do it every 3 years. Anything else happened? We had a Zoom last night. We had Zoom with some of my friends, which is so nice, you know, at the end of the evening, just to be able to talk about your day with your besties. And yeah, and I didn't get into the Zoom till like 10 o'clock my time because I was trying to diamond paint, listen to the trial, and just kind of wind down for the day, which you know, diamond painting will help you do. So the other thing I put a sticker here for today. It says coffee first. Yeah, first the coffee, then the things. So I put that first in the column. I'm trying the vertical. I think next year with the planner, I'm going to try a different style. I forget what it's called. Yeah, but we're gonna make this one work. So today I have physical therapy at 2 p.m. Yay! And tonight I will not have a live tonight. You know, it's supposed to be Craft With Me Wednesday, but this is the last Wednesday of the month, and it is I am collaborating with Marissa McCartney on the temperature blanket. So this is her night. I will be on her channel. It will be 6:30 Central. So don't look for me at 6 o'clock Central. Look for me at 6:30 Central time. I will be in Marissa McCartney, the Crafty Heifers live. Yeah. And we'll be talking about our temperature blankets, which all of us are way behind. Nobody wants to work on a blanket in July in 100-degree weather. Nope, but I like to drink my coffee in the morning. Yep. Hot coffee. It's nice and cool right now. It cools, you know, by the end of the night it cools off. I'm going to say by the time I finished diamond painting at 10 o'clock last night, it had cooled off. But my word, it was hot up until then. Yes, it was. Oh, my back hurts. I know I say that every day. Well, I do have physical therapy today. And, you know, my friends got on to me because I still haven't I haven't arranged for a housekeeper to come and help me clean the house. So that is my goal today, to get that arranged and make sure that the insurance company has already said they'll pay $20 an hour for it. I just have to get the letter, the physical therapist's letter to the insurance company, make sure that's sufficient. I'm going to probably have to pay most of it myself because $20 ain't going to get this house clean. Yeah. Anywho, what other? I need one more. Okay. And I found out in the heat these plastic tips do work a little better with the museum wax than these metal tips. This one doesn't even have glue in it, so it's certainly not going to work. Nope, it's not. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to think. What did we not talk about? The air conditioning the vent is right under my legs, and my legs are cold. That's so weird. Last night I was melting. Tootsie's laying right here. Not over there, right down here. So I found out last night, and I hope I get this word right, that cats are corporeal, corpuscular, something like that. Not nocturnal, as I suspected they might be, where they want to be up all night and sleep all day. but apparently let me see if I can look up the word. Okay, I found it. Crepuscular, Crepuscular. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, Cats are actually not nocturnal, but rather crepuscular, which means they are active around dusk and dawn. Dr. Michelle Mayer, president-elect of the American Association of Feline Practitioners, said many often consider cats to be nocturnal, and many cat behaviors make them appear that way. Many cats will often wake their humans up from a deep sleep at least once per night, which makes many questions if cats are nocturnal creatures, but cats are actually considered to be crepuscular, which means their peak hours of activity occur at dusk and dawn. Well, I wasn't crazy there. that word does exist. Okay, Crepuscular. We learned a new word today, crepuscular, because it sounds like the creepy skin disease, which is corpuscular. I knew that there was something similar in the dictionary. You're like, move on, Rebecca, this is creepy. Okay, well, because my cats, they're up all night. Not all night, no, last night, around 11 o'clock, they came to bed and went to sleep. But 5 o'clock this morning, they were up. They're like, the sun's up, we're getting up. Yep, yay. My, oh my, oh my. Do, 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 do. Okay, what national day is it? It is National Water Park Day. Yes, we're going to write that in our journal. National. I'm going to put H2O Park Day. I'll know what that means. Which is your favorite water park? Now, in Wichita, we have this very unusual water park. It's on a lake, and they have all these, I mean, and it's huge. They have these huge blow up things that are on the water, like you can see sometimes in those television shows at night where they're competing against each other and they have to, run over these things that are on the water, and I asked my granddaughter to kind of describe it and if she enjoys it. She says she does enjoy it, but it's a lot of work because you have to climb up this inflatable thing and you can slide down into the water. That's part of it. There's other parts. You need to be in good shape to do this park. But it's not your typical water park. Now, I'm from Florida where, you go to, there are actual water parks. But this water park day is sponsored by I don't know if it's the largest water park. Yes, it is the largest indoor water park in the country, in America. Kalahari, Kalahari Resorts and Conventions in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. Guess what just got put on my bucket list? Because I like water parks. I will put on my bathing suit and get wet. I love those roller coasters that go through the water. Oh, those are so much fun. And those big inflatable things that go down the rivers, those are fun too. And it's indoors. And now I wouldn't mind outdoors either. The ones in Florida are outdoors. There was a nice water park in Orlando. I'm trying to remember if we went to it. Disney has a water park, and I have never been there. One of their parks is a water park, unless they closed it. I don't remember. They might have closed their water park. Somebody in Florida will tell me. Crystal will know. Hey, stop. That's disgusting. I'm doing a show. We do not clean our privates during the show. She's like, I do. I don't. That's gross. So get your bathing suit and go to a water park, because the weather is perfect for water parks. They're expecting the heat index, which is, what it will feel like tomorrow, to be 110 here in Wichita, Kansas. I just want the winter. I am a winter person. Do you remember when the day I cried when it started snowing? I love winter, which is why I want to go to Colorado here soon, in November. Now, I have been to Colorado. My ex-husband and I used to go skiing every single year. I'm a decent skier. Like blue runs. I won't do a black run. Blue runs are like medium. Black runs, no. I have no death wish. Let's talk about Judge, Jury, and Jury. Okay. So, this is the Uber trial. The trial of a gentleman by the name of Nathaniel Rowland. Now, yesterday, there was a verdict. I don't want to tell anybody what it is. Some people already know the outcome of this trial because, like I said, we were behind by a few days. I was going to try to catch up. I was very disappointed to see that they already had a verdict. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to cover this for you, to tell you, because it's an interesting trial. It really is. The courtroom it's in South Carolina, very southern. The judge is a black judge. He is a no-nonsense kind of guy. He's not put up with any nonsense in his courtroom. He was getting on to the prosecution because he says, whenever you have an exhibit, you must supply me with a copy because I have to keep track of the evidence, and I can't see through the back of a television because they had arranged the television where he couldn't see it, and he was not happy about that. So they rearranged the television so he could see it. And they're very formal, if they need a minute, usually at the end of your questioning, you'll say, Your Honor, may I have a moment? And which means you want to go talk to your co-counsel to see if there's anything else you need to ask or something that they may have thought of that you didn't. In this court, they say, Your Honor, may I beg your indulgence? May I beg your indulgence? Something like that. It's very strange to me. And then they do their little thing. And then they'll say, Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honors. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Your Honors. It's weird. It's just weird. And there's so many prosecutors. Like, every witness has had a different prosecutor. Like, I don't know how big this prosecution team is. It's like, I suspect they don't get many murder trials, so everybody wanted to have a hand in prosecuting this. I don't know, because I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 different prosecutors. I don't know who the lead prosecutor is. I really don't. But there's one gentleman, this tall black man with this really deep voice, like this gorgeous, sexy, deep voice. He reminds me of Idris Elba. That's what I thought of when I saw him. And he's examining this witness, and the witness accidentally says, Yes, ma'am. And then he apologizes really quickly. I'm so sorry. Because the witness was nervous. And the prosecutor, he laughed. He goes, Yes, it's probably my voice, because he had this really deep voice. He goes, Yes, it's my voice. And, it was so funny. Anyway, I way far afield of what's going on in this trial. So the next witness, this is on we're finishing up day 1. This is the patrol officer that arrived at the dorm where Samantha lived. Her and her roommates, and she had several roommates, and So this patrol officer took the information. She got a photograph of her. They made up a be on the lookout poster, flyer type thing. The patrol officer went to the Liberty Tavern where this woman was employed to find out if she had showed up for work or called in. She had not shown up for work, and she had not called in, and she was scheduled to work. So then they got this, be on the lookout photo out to all the different agencies in the area, which ended up being key to them finding her the next day or later that day. Then the next witness is an Uber driver. Now we're going to learn how Uber works, because I have never done Uber. I'm too scared. Even after this, especially after this case, I'm a little scared. But he explained that in order to be an Uber driver, you have to give them a copy of your driver's license, your insurance card. Then they do a background check. You have to give them a photograph of your vehicle. And the way it works is when you call for an Uber, once the Uber is scheduled, that company sends to the person that that ordered the Uber, will send you a photograph of the vehicle that's going to pick you up, and the information. Now, what it's sending to the driver is the name of the person that's wants to be picked up, the location, and a contact, like a phone number. And this driver says, once I get the call, I always call the person to let them know I'm on the way. So that night he receives a call to pick up Samantha at the 5 Points, at this Bulldog bar that she's at. I think it's Bulldog. I could be wrong about that. Something like that. Anyway, so he tries to call her cell phone number. She doesn't answer. So he kind of circles around the block a few times, calls again, no answer. So what he says happens is, after a certain amount, once you're there, arrive where you're supposed to pick up the client, Uber gives you a certain amount of time. If you don't find the client in a certain amount of time, Uber sends a message to the driver to cancel the call. So that's what happened. He couldn't get a hold of her. She doesn't show up. The Uber ride gets canceled, which is what her roommate had found in her computer. That Uber she ordered had been canceled. But he was there looking for her. Couldn't find her. And when he apparently he has this is a small community. It's a college community, but outside of this college community, I suspect everybody knows everybody. This is the feeling I'm getting, including prosecutors, police officers. They seem overly friendly with each other. Hey, officer, hey, how like everybody seems to know each other. I'm not getting much diamond painting done. So he finds out from one of his relatives who works at the police station that this woman that he was, that there's a woman that's missing. And he sees a picture of her and her name, and he realizes that's the girl that he was supposed to pick up. Oh, I remember. It's called the Bird Dog, not the Bulldog. At the Bird Dog. And so he goes down to the police station. He said, I'm the Uber driver. I was supposed to, I had a call to pick her up last night. And he explains the whole thing to the police, and they take his statement. And he voluntarily lets them swab his mouth for DNA, just to ensure that, he is not involved in any way. And they take a picture of his vehicle. They do all that good stuff. So the next witness is the general manager of the bird dog. And he's brought in because they want to get into evidence the video surveillance of the parking area outside of that bird dog bar. I was going to call it a lounge. It's a bar. So we see the footage. They show, I don't see her getting into the vehicle. Now, I have seen footage of her getting into a vehicle that was shown by the network, when they were advertising the case. I didn't see it when they put it into evidence, but I saw a lot of people mingling outside this bar. But I didn't see her getting into the vehicle. Maybe they showed it and I missed it. Sometimes the camera is late getting over to the exhibit. It may have been on the first part of what they showed, and I don't know. Anyway, so that comes into evidence. So this was on March 29th, 2019, at approximately 2:08 that she is seen getting into this vehicle. Now, the next witness, now we're getting into the small town stuff here, is the turkey hunter. Yes. This young man, he is out, he's in his early 20s. He gets off work, and he and his friend, this is their hobby, they like to go hunting. So this time of the year, you're allowed to do turkey hunting. So he and his friend were out in this very rural area. Where his friend lives is called New Zion, and it's very remote. They're out turkey hunting, and they stop by what they call a fire road, which is a road that goes through the trees, and if there's a fire, it's supposed to break up the fire. So they park just beyond the fire road, and they get out of their vehicle, and the one guy is walking down the fire road because he thinks he sees something. Maybe it's a turkey, maybe it's not. So he's walking down this fire road, and he sees in the distance, and he looks at his binocular. He looks through his binoculars, and yep, he's right. There's a body. So he says to his friend, "Hey, come look." Now, they don't approach. He just says, he looks through the binoculars. So his friend who lives in the area calls his father and says, "Can you get Bubba to come out?" Now, Bubba lives in the area, New Zion, but he's what is he? They call it, he works for the Department of Natural Resources. Now, in Florida, when I used to live there, they call it the Fish and Game and Wildlife Commission. It's an officer he's out there checking for hunting licenses. Basically, that's his job. He's got a uniform, a badge, a gun. He's a sworn officer, but his job is to check for hunting licenses, make sure that run kids off that shouldn't be there, things like that. Protecting the natural resources. So the father calls Bubba and says, "Hey, the boys they think they found a body." So Bubba comes out to the scene, and he gets a little closer, but he doesn't touch anything, and he sees, yes, this is a body. So he calls the sheriff. Sheriff comes out, and they're like, "Yep, that's a body." And all these people testify. We get to hear from Bubba. Bubba comes on the stand, and he is so Southern, and the prosecutor asked him to stand up and demonstrate on this map, the things that he's talking about. So Bubba gets up and he's mumbling and pointing at the map, and the judge says, "Who is he talking to?" And the prosecutor says, "I think he was talking to himself." And the judge says, "Mr. whatever his name was, you need to tell the jury and me what you're describing and speak up," because he was like mumbling, and it was kind of funny. And every now and then he'd resort back to his mumbling. But this Bubba has lived, within 2 houses in this area for the last 60 years. Like his entire life he's lived out there. And he says, in 26 years that he's been doing this job, he's never run into anybody out there that didn't kind of live in the area. So somebody that he didn't know, kids that want to make out, kids that come out there to party because, it's the middle of nowhere. It's the best place to party. And he described his job, and he said once he confirmed that there was a body there, he secured the scene, got a hold of the sheriff. The sheriff came, and he accompanied. No, that's the next guy. So then the sheriff comes. Sheriff. Now this is a small town. Sheriff. Entire workforce for the sheriff's department is like 70 people. So he comes out. They don't have crime scene, the ability to process a crime scene. So they have to call the state agency, which he's calling SLED, which I believe stands for State Law Enforcement Department, I think, because they keep saying SLED, or South Carolina Law Enforcement Department. I don't know. It's the state. So they call in the state to come process the crime scene. So meanwhile, the first investigator of this sheriff's department, he received the bolo earlier, and he says, maybe this is this person, and so they take a little closer look. They're not touching the body or anything, but they take a closer look. They see that they said the clothes looked like they had been kind of ripped from her body, that there had been a struggle.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
No, not talking to you. Sorry. Anyway, they could see that there, but he felt like it had not happened there, that her body had been placed there, but he did not feel that whatever occurred didn't happen there, because there were no blood splatters anywhere, no drag marks or anything like that. So they take a look. The clothing matches the description in the bolo. Her features match the description, and they think, yes, this is the person. So they call the police in Columbia and say, we think we found the missing person. They go down, they confirm, yes, this is her, and that's when they have to break it to the family. Yeah. So, what else? Oh, and he was asked, the sheriff was asked, well, are there any businesses or anything out there? And he's like, well, the closest business out there is the mini mart. So apparently the sheriff had gone to the mini mart to see if there was any surveillance footage for vehicles that may have passed in the area that night. And they did see vehicles, but he said it was really too dark to make out any kind of particular type of vehicle. So they were not able to identify, how the body got there through that surveillance footage. So nothing was entered into evidence. So, and now we're like on the morning of day 2. So that is where I left off. By then it was 10 o'clock at night for me. I had to go to bed. I jumped on Zoom for a little while just to chit chat with my friends, and then I passed out in the bed from heat exhaustion, I think. How are we doing on time? Okay, let's get. Yesterday was a long show. Today's a long show. I'm so sorry. Not really, but you guys are listening. I'm bringing you what you want, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. I have fun bringing this to you. I really do. So, this day in history, Animal House. Do you remember that movie with John Belushi? Food fight. He has a mouthful of food, and that's what I remember about that movie. It's this crazy movie about this fraternity, this college fraternity, and they do the crazy things like put a live horse, not a live, obviously dead because they cut the head off a horse, and put it in the dean's office. It's set at a fictional Faber College, which was actually the University of Oregon, was like sort of the background for this filming. And it's supposed to be a disreputable Delta House fraternity whose members enjoyed beer-soaked toga parties and crude pranks such as putting a horse in the dean's office. This was the first hit for director John Landis, who later came out with the Blues Brothers, Trading Places, Coming to America. This was Kevin Bacon's big break, Karen Allen's big break, Tom Hulce's big break. He was in Amadeus, So a lot of these people went on to have really, really good careers. John Belushi was on Saturday Night Live until he overdosed himself in a hotel room. He did Blues Brothers with. What are you doing back there? It's Pearl. She's playing with the rug. She likes to take my magnets off the board back there. See all those little, I don't know, wait. Can you see all those magnets on the board? Yes. Pearl likes to take them off. I have to go back and put them all on. So, I remember, what year was that? 1978. That's the year I graduated from high school. So yeah, we watched Animal House, toga, toga, toga. Let's have a toga party. So it's an interesting movie. If you've never seen it, it's just one of those movies you gotta see at least one time in your lifetime. Animal House. So July 28th, 1978. So I had already graduated. What was I doing in July? I had moved I graduated in Orlando. I moved out of that area up to an area in northern Florida. Yeah, I remember that time. Animal House. I don't know if I saw it in theaters, though. I may have waited till it came out, I don't know, but that's this day in history. So, guys, don't forget, if you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that share button. You hit the like button first, then hit share, and share this with a friend. Let them know that crafting and crime, it's fun. You can knit, crochet, color, diamond paint by number, whatever it is you're into, and you got something to listen to while you're doing it. Yep, crazy me. So, and also consider becoming a member of my channel. You can join the Patreon, or you can become a channel member. Either one's okay. It goes to help support the content of the channel. And I have ordered a diamond painting from a new company. I'm going to premiere a new company for you guys. But I think it takes I think what the website says, delivery in 5 to 6 weeks. Yeah. Wow. So, anyway, it's another option, I like that so many of these companies for diamond painting are coming out with licensed artwork. They're getting in the game. They're becoming competitive. It's not just Diamond Art Club ruling the roost anymore. There are so many choices out there for people who want to get licensed artwork. And what I think it's going to do is bring the prices down eventually. Right now, they're still up there a little bit. The licensed artwork is still a little expensive because you got to pay the artist, which, I'm okay with. If I'm getting a quality product and the artist is getting compensated, I'm okay with that. I don't mind paying, but I think it's going to drive the prices down, all this competition. So, anyway, that's just my opinion. All right, I love you guys. I hope to see you tonight. No Craft With Me Wednesday, but you'll see me tonight on the Crafty Heifers channel at 6:30 p.m. Central for a continuation of the Temperature Blanket collab. And even if you're behind, please show up. Let's encourage each other. I know it's hot out there, but we must soldier on, right? Bye. Love you all.